Hello and welcome to a new video. So this is part 2 of the previous video that we did, which was 5 things I love about my Mitsubishi Evo 9, and today we're going to look at 5 things I hate about my Mitsubishi Evo 9. So let's get to it. The next thing that I hate about the Mitsubishi Evo 9 is maintenance costs. Mitsubishi recommends you get this thing serviced every 6 months, or I think it's 6 or 8,000 miles. It's not far, but it normally means every 6 months. Service history is everything with an Evo, so keeping a good quality service history is really important. So going to a specialist that knows the car, knows what they're doing, is always best to do. Got AYC fluid that you have to change over, which most cars won't have. You've got other things like clutches are very expensive and will wear out. It is a high performance 4-wheel drive car, so you will go for a clutch. Yeah, everything has a tax on it. The servicing parts are not too bad, but the servicing is definitely. Next thing that I hate about the Mitsubishi Evo 9 is the placement of the rear wing. Now, I know it's functional, but it does get in the way of the rear view mirror. This is just about my normal view out of the car, so windscreen here, clocks down here. When we look up to the mirror, we'll try and get, there we go, that's probably gives you a good idea. You can see that blade goes straight through the middle of that van that is a couple of car lengths behind us. Now if somebody's following you and you're trying to look out through there, the person driving that car is going to be obscured by that blade. So if somebody is driving behind you wearing a high-vis jacket, you have zero idea. And if they're probably 50 meters behind you, you can't even tell what car that is because the blade goes straight through it and the car is smaller at that distance. See that BMW? You can tell who's in that car. Not a clue. Still no idea, still no idea, still no idea. You might have an idea right now. The next thing that I hate about the Mitsubishi Evo 9 is this number plate down here. The reason why is anytime you want to get this bumper off, this has to come off. And as you can see, there's no screws, so it means cutting the thing off just to get to a bolt behind here. And then because of that, this little vent here just gets obscured and doesn't get the care and attention that it needs. So if I could change anything, I'd probably change this actual number plate mount and go to something a lot more slimline. The next thing that I hate about the Mitsubishi Evo is the infotainment system. So the infotainment system in this was just a CD player and radio. I've since upgraded to a JVC head unit which can do Bluetooth, but it's got none of the mod cons. You can't read text messages, you can't do any hands-free calling. It's basic as basic can be. Other than that, I suppose it's something that's an easy upgrade, but it's 2005 at the end of the day, so you got 2005 technology. The next thing that I hate about the Mitsubishi Evo 9 is something that's down in the front here. This little button here, because this means opening the fuel cap. And hey presto, that's where the fuel goes. Now this car will drink fuel. There will be a separate video. I've managed to keep every single fuel receipt that I've ever put in this car, and I'm going to total them all up and see how much petrol this car has cost me in just over 3 years. So but you spend a lot of time at the petrol station. Here in the UK, I fill the tank and I get about 230 miles. And that's just normal day-to-day driving. Sometimes if you're lucky and you drive a lot on the motorway, you might get 280 miles out of the tank, and it's a 55 litre or 50 litre tank. Costs about 65-70 pounds to fill the tank. So yeah, depending on how much you're driving, you're going to be filling up quite a lot.